Good afternoon. It is December 20th, 2021, and today I would really say this was a range day. It looks like we made it up to the midline of the overnight highs and lows, which I have in yellow, but we traded down very much in the overnight, probably from about 646.20 to 45.30 or so. Oh, yeah, in the overnight, 45.30 or so. So almost a 100-point slide right there. And then early this morning it started trending back up. And then towards the open, we had this kind of a steady but not very strong downtrend. And then by mid-morning, we started trending up. So I would really say this was a range day, and I'm pretty surprised that I have I have 7 short thing trades here. It felt like a lot of them were aggressive, so I mean I'll take a look again, but I just didn't really like the price action, and maybe it's just because this reversal was, for me, kind of difficult to see. I guess 8:30. Yeah, this is 2 hours from here to here. Once we got this spike up, I think it was this spike up, that once we got it, I felt pretty confident. Maybe it was, I think it was actually this one, and I felt, okay, we're probably going higher. But then I walked away, and so I didn't see all this. That would have been confusing for me. So, well, we got the break of this channel, moved to a new low, and we got this channel down to a new low. But let's take a look at this. I don't want to keep rambling. I want to keep this concise. So the first trade I liked was right here. Pretty sure I took this. Okay, yeah, I did take this. First trade I liked was right here. This is a failed second entry long. You can see that this is congestive, so that makes it aggressive. But I mean, look how bearish that closes, and it's pretty clear that we are in a channel down here. We keep making lower lows, lower highs, so I like that entry. Let me delete this. I like that entry. It's a failure. It got you enough for a scalp. But then we just start going sideways. The bias was heavily down. That's another reason I like this. So this was clearly congestion right here. Even this was too, but I drew my highs here. You probably could have argued for your highs to be right here. But anyway, we break out, I would say, counter trend. And why did I like this one? I guess because we had a break of this channel and a move to a new high, and then we get this super bearish bar. And I'm expecting prices to go back into this range. So that's probably why I like this entry. I didn't take it, but I like it. And this looks like a second entry at the top of congestion, and it confirms this trend channel. So I definitely like this one. I don't think I took any of these, though. And then we keep coming down, and by this time, after this breakout, looks like and we get confirmation of this channel, looks like this range is no longer valid, and we do get a second entry short. It's also a lower high off this trend line. It's also a failed second entry long. And with those combinations, I think that's a good entry. I don't like the signal bar, but I like everything else. But then we just start going sideways. And you might be thinking long here because prices were definitely just just ranging. And so you get a first entry, second, it breaks lower, second entry. I mark that as aggressive, though. You don't know if we just came off the highs. So, I mean, maybe you're thinking we also just came off the lows, so we're going to go back to the highs. You know, it's a tough call, and that's why I marked it aggressive. We come back up to the highs, no setup, and the floor just falls out. And really, I mean, look, this is messy, but this all looks like prices are ranging too. This looks like a level of resistance, but it doesn't really, there's no level of support. So, I mean, I'd probably take that off and just draw this. But yeah, prices are just ranging. And so there's reason you might even go long here. I mean, that's very aggressive. But look, it's at an important level of support. But we keep getting these lower highs, so I don't like that. And this is just a lower high off the, I think this is a first failed second entry long. So I kind of looked at this as like a lower high. I mean, that's clearly a level of resistance, so you might think about that. Then we just bounce off the lows, come back up. First, second entry long. I mean, we're in this downtrend and the bias is down, so that's definitely aggressive, but look at the way prices are bouncing, and we just got this huge leg up. So you might consider that. And you really might consider this one too, but going into the EMA, it looks like the EMA's kind of been holding prices until here. So I don't think I'm not going to mark this, but it's also a lower high. It confirms this channel. It's tough. This is clearly just a range. At that point, you might have it drawn like this. But by the end of this movement, you'd have it drawn like that. Then all of a sudden, this is no longer valid. Come down here, form this range here. And, you know, so with the bias being down, I don't think you want to go long here, but look at that double test of that price level. And really, if we drag it over, looks like a triple test. But anyway, we come over here and you get a first entry, second entry. It's also a lower high off of this trend channel. That huge bearish bar, I think you got to take that. You could also look at this as a double top. So when you get this first failed second entry long, room to the bottom of this channel to scalp out, room to the bottom of this larger channel, I think you have to take that. We get a break, move to a new low, and we get some correction, and then just some sideways action. We don't make it to the top of the channel before we start moving down. And this one, I like this one just because, I mean, I don't like it enough to mark it, but it's a double test. That's clearly a double test, and you could even argue a triple test because of this price level. But really, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it might just be part of this congestive area right here. But yeah, that signal bar doesn't finish good enough. And this is clearly a channel down that I should have marked. Something like that. Get a break, move to a new low. I like this one right here, this entry. This is second entry short, super bearish, off the midline of the greater channel. And that gets you a big enough move. There's room to these lows. First entry, second entry. I just don't like, you know what? Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I would definitely be considering this one. I'm going to, oh, give me a second. Yeah, I think, yeah, I was looking right there. I would definitely consider this because that's a second entry short. Look at all that room back to the EMA, and it looks like we're in a range, and that looks like either the top of the range, or you might have the range highs drawn like this, and it looks like a failed breakout. So I like that. I'm going to give it aggressive, but that feels like a red trade right there. Second entry short. Come out here. This looks like a breakout. You could also argue for this one right here. This looks like a lower high back into what could possibly be the range. If you draw it like this, it doesn't look any good though. Yeah, and you probably have it drawn like this. Yeah, I think I'd have my highs drawn like this. So I don't think you can take this one. I just did it again. All right, we are right here. And now I'm marking this, but this looks like we're going into the low, so maybe I should mark this as aggressive. It does look like a failure, but I think with how sideways prices are going, first failed second entry long, I don't think that should be marked as red. This is clearly sideways, and you're going into the lows. All right, I didn't take that. Good. But then we started, look, you see we get support here, test it once, breakout once and it fails, and then we test it again, and then we test it another time. So for that reason, I think you could consider going long here. We haven't made it to the lows of this channel in a long time. And if you do, well, that leads to the break of the channel, and that leads to a very strong move up. And then we form this congestion, and nothing really nice in here. You get a first entry, second entry long right here. I like this more so because it's a failed breakout, though. And probably traps a lot of people thinking that it's a failed second entry short. Or failed second entry. Yeah, failed second entry short. Or people who are thinking it's a failed second entry long get trapped, excuse me. So it's a second entry long. I like that. And breakout with trend, but then that fails. And then we come down here, form this congestion, and breakout with trend, that fails, comes back down, and I guess they just trap a bunch of shorts here. We skyrocket up, form this congestion. First time that breaks out, it fails. I think you can take that. It's a nice signal bar, and look at that. It gets you a nice big move up. Come down, form this congestion. Breakout, you might consider this as a failed break lower. And this forms a new low, so when we get this first failed second entry short, this would be tough to spot. This would be really tough to spot, but I like that it came after this big leg up, this nice leg up, and we aren't seeing much price acceptance really, so I would definitely be a little weary. Like seeing this, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't feel advanced enough in my reading abilities to see this live, but you see this congestion, it kind of fizzles out. We break into it after this huge leg up. It's pretty short-lived. Here we see complete price rejection, and the EMA is pointing up. So if you can consider all that in real time, we're making higher lows, higher highs. Take that. I don't see anything else I like in here. We hit the high of this channel. This channel would be really hard to spot by then, though. It breaks, comes down here, bounces at this random spot. I'm not sure why. And it's just choppy. We form this price level, and it's near the opening price. Test it here, test it here. This big bearish bar, you might go short. And then when we come and test it again, you might go short there. But look how choppy this is. Look at these dojis here. This is a doji. So it's just, this stuff is just very, very crazy. You come down here and make a new low. First failed second entry short, but they're going into the highs. So that's all I saw. This is just too late in the day. But that price action looks pretty neat. Compared to all this choppy stuff. So that's what I saw. We'll take a look at the trades I took. So I don't like this first trade I took, I don't think. So you get a first entry, failed second entry here. Oh, so okay, no, I do like this, right? Yeah, first, failed second entry. Well, no, I don't like it because it's so far from the EMA. Really, the appropriate thing here would just be to wait for the second entry short, and because it's so far from the EMA. But this first entry does work out. I mean, this first trade. But yeah, that's just too far from the EMA. Wait for the second entry, and you get it. And you get a really nice setup. And you get a lower high, which looks congested by that point. But I took both of those. I like this one. I like the second entry. I don't like the failure. And then I think I took one more right here, and I am okay with this. This is aggressive, you know. First failed second entry long. This is aggressive, but I do like it, and it does look like a channel down. The problem here was that I was switching between my live account. Oh wait, no, that didn't happen here. This is an aggressive trade. I'm okay with that though. Second entry short. The problem here is that I was switching between my live account and my sim account, and so I didn't have my ATM strategy on, and that causes all types of problems. So luckily I was able to close the trade at almost 2 points of profit, but it's tough. It's tough to just rely on not having the ATM strategy. So you got to be really careful with that. And those are the trades I took. So in case you missed it last week, I don't anticipate being on a schedule this week. I think my videos might come at 8 p.m. They might come at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 12 p.m. I don't know, because I'm spending extra time with the family this week. But I hope everyone had a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow.